You guys know that McCall's and Nomi was on sale over the weekend, so I'm going to be sharing what I picked up. Now, I picked up 10 McCall patterns and like 7 Nomi patterns. All right, so we're gonna keep this video short, straight, sweet, and to the point like you like it. I am currently out of town, so I'm gonna try to keep this as quick as possible, but give you all the details that you need. All right, so if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hello, ciao, guten tag, aloha, hola, konnichiwa, wagwan, bonjour. If you are returning, you know what to do. Go get you a quick snack, come on back so we can go ahead and talk about it. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into this video. But I'm going to give you guys one caveat. I am kind of hoarse right now, so if I crack, that's what it is, because I said it in my Instagram before that I had some death in family and I had funerals and everything going on today as well. I am filming this on a Saturday, so that's why I'm behind the scenes instead of in front of you guys today, but I did pick these up yesterday before making my way out of town. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. All right, so the first pattern that I picked up, I'm gonna put all of these up on the screen. You guys know how I do, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them all up on the screen and talk through them. So the first pattern, and they're not in any particular order as a matter of fact, but the first one that I picked up is McCall's. I'm gonna do all the McCall's first and then get to the Nomi pattern. So McCall's 8389 it's a misted skirt in 2 lengths. It have a yoke and optional pockets, high waist A-line skirt, have seaming details in it, and has an exposed zipper at the front, the center front. It is an average to sew pattern as well. If you're looking for kind of like the plus size, that pattern is 83.90. I did not pick that pattern up. I just picked up 83.89 for this. The sizing for 83.89, it comes in 4 to 12 and 12 to 20. Now, if you need the women's size, it comes in 20W to 28W and 30W to 38W on that. Now, when it comes to the fabrics that you can use for the pattern, you can use cotton, denim, linen, twill, basically any type of woven fabric of your choosing. So I do plan on sewing this pattern up. Now, I plan on using denim. There is a sew along for this as well, and Raven from Raven Marine, she actually did the sew along for this as well on her channel, so make sure you check that out. I'll put it in the description box below so you're able to see that sew along as well. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. The next pattern is for my daughter. It's McCall's 8396. It's a girl's short and cargo pants. My daughter's been into cargo pants here lately. It is a learn to sew pattern. It's a learn to sew cargo pants and shorts with a white waistband, mock fly zipper, patch pockets, and button closure. Also, it has like a pull-on elastic waist pants and shorts that sits below the waist. It has cuffs. They are white leg or ankle elastic pants. And then view B, which is the one that she wants, and view C, B and C is similar. They have the flat pockets as well if you're interested. It is an easy to sew pattern. When it comes to the pattern sizing, it's 7 to 14 on the pattern. Once again, when it comes to fabric, you can use pretty much any type of fabric of your choosing: corduroy, cotton blends, denim, twill, just to name a few for that. But this is for my daughter. I'm not gonna, I don't like taking a lot of time on these kit patterns, but you can pick this pattern up in either paper pattern, that's basically your printed pattern, and it's also available in PDF. Now, going back to the last pattern I showed, which is McCall's 8389, it's just right now available in printed form. All right, moving on to the next pattern. It's 8392, which is Mrs. Sleepwear. This is a easy to sew pattern. It is a Mrs. robe, dress, top, short, and pant pattern. So it's kind of like a wardrobe pattern. It's loose fitting robe. It has 3/4 sleeves and a belt for the robe. Pullover top and dress have the square neckline and white straps. The shorts and the pants have elastic waist. And then on view C and view D, it has like a folded hem. View A and view B has like the fringe on that robe. I'm not feeling that trim whatsoever. But it's there and it's purchased if you want to do that as well. When it comes to the pattern sizing, it comes in two sizes, 8 to 16 and then 18 to 26. This is a pattern that's just a printed pattern, which if you look on the Simplicity website, so all the patterns are now on Simplicity website, no longer Something Delightful. On there you can see what type of format it comes in, and right now it just comes in the printed paper format, no PDF. Okay, so now when it comes to the fabric that you can use basically any type of lightweight fabric like your chemise, your crepe back satin, your crepes, your stable knit, just to name a few. For that, for me, I would use the charmeuse for that. I have some in my stash right now. I'm very interested in doing the robe. Now I have robe patterns, but I feel like I would pick this pattern up. But when, I would definitely use this pattern because I did pick it up, so basically I did not show what I would pick up when they came out because, the patterns were not available, and these just literally was in my store. They were putting them out as I was coming through the door. So I was like, hey, I'll just go ahead and get what I need. Y'all finish up doing what you need to do. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to the next pattern. It's 8388. It's a Mrs. Top pattern. Now that's the Mrs. sizes. If you're looking for the woman size of this pattern, it looks like the woman size would be 8386. For that. Well, I do apologize. That is not the right pattern. It just comes in 8388. For this pattern, it is an average to sew pattern. It's a top with sleeves or straps. It features a square neckline. I'm feeling these square necklines here lately. It has gathered details in the back zipper. View A is the crop top version, which I'm not here for that view. View D has the shoulder pleats and a sash. I like that view, but I also like view B on this pattern. I'm not sure if I'm going to do view B as in boy, or view D as in David on the pattern. Now, when it comes to the pattern sizing, it comes in two different options, 6 to 14 and 16 to 24 on the pattern. Let me flip over to the fabric options. So some of the fabric options is brocade, which I have in my stash right now. I think that would be amazing to do on a brocade. Cotton blends, poplin, just to name a few. For that, you will need some lining fabric. Basically, you'll want to use some lining fabric. Even if you use some cheap white fabric, you want to kind of line your, garments sometimes. Not all the time. You could get away with just, serging, but this one, you pretty much need it, for that square neckline to sit where it needs to sit, and basically do a stay stitch, which is the turn of the cloth to keep that on the inside. All right, that facing piece. All right, let's move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is also another Mrs. Top. It's 8386. Now I like this one because it comes in different cup sizes. It's a fit and flare top that features another scoop neckline. It has bust darts. It has gathered puff sleeves as well. It has long sleeves. It has Juliet sleeves as well. So I like this one. It is an easy to sew pattern on this one. It comes in two pattern sizes, 4 to 12 and 14 to 22. It is only in the paper pattern right now. So when I say paper, it's printed pattern is what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, if you need the plus size pattern for this, it's 8387 on this, and on that plus side, the sizing goes from 20 to 28 on the first pattern and 30W to 38W on that second pattern. Now, when it comes to the fabrics that you can use is basically any type of woven fabric, brocades, cotton blends, poplin. Just to name a few. You're going to need some lining fabric as well for that as well. But that is 8386 for this pattern. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is 8384, which is the shirt dress. It comes in two lengths. It has collar and stand, puff sleeves with lining, and is finished with a narrow hem. Now view A and view B have the gathers below the waist for sure. Now I have the perfect fabric that I want to do for this dress. I'm planning on doing B, but have the length of view 8. Now, Brittany J. Jones, she has already done the sew along for this. If you're interested, I will go ahead and put that link in the description box below. So you could go ahead and jet over to that sew along by Brittany J. Jones as well. But I already have the fabric for this because I have an inspiration photo that's similar to this dress. So I just feel like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sew that up. Okay. So if you're looking for the plus size, so let me back up a second. So for the Mrs. pattern size, it's 4 to 12 and 14 to 22. On the Mrs. pattern, it's also 8380. So 8384 is the Mrs. size. 8385 is the women's size or the plus size. The plus size pattern range is 20W to 28W on the first pattern and 30W to 38W on that second pattern. Like I mentioned, it is an average to sew pattern. Let's go ahead and get over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is 8383. It is a Brandy Joan pattern. It is a knit dress. Now you guys know I normally do not sew knit dress, but I like this one and I like that peekaboo cutout. Now you can't see it unless you look at the back of the pattern, right? And that's what drew me to this pattern. That kind of like keyhole type back out. I like it. I plan on wearing this for, let me tell you, a Christmas party, okay? Easy to sew. Now, when I say it's easy to sew, it will be easy to sew for me, but this is an average to sew pattern. It is a sleeveless knit dress, which I'm going to add some sleeves onto this and jazz it up when I get ready to sew this pattern. It has a scoop and a crew neckline, 2 different necklines. I plan on sewing view B on this pattern. When it comes to the sizing, 8 to 16 and then 18 to 26. And because I said it's a knit dress, when it comes to the fabric, you're definitely going to need some knit fabrics for sure. When it comes to the different knit fabric, I probably would use a Ponte knit, but for this one, any type of stretch knit that's at least 50% stretch, whether it's ITY, interlock, jersey, stretch, velvet, just to name a few. And if you are using knit fabric, make sure you are using a knit needle. Tip of the day, use a knit needle. Do not use a woven needle. Basically, anything that says knit on it, you need it for when you sew knit. All right. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. It is 8381. It's a Mrs. Robe, tie belt, and nightgown. And this pattern is a vintage pattern from the 80s by Laura Ashley. It comes in a paper pattern or printed pattern form. It comes in extra small, 2 large on this pattern. Now, the robe has a V neckline, tie, collar with a self fabric ruffle. It has pockets on the side seams, button front opening, a self fabric belt as well, long sleeves. It has a lot going on for this. And when you look at it, the first thing that may come to your mind is like, that's a lot of fabric, okay? And we're going to talk about this. This is an average to sew pattern as well. So let me look at, and the reason why I'm going to say you guys may want to start looking at these, how much fabric you're going to need for what you want to sew, because listen, the robe and tie belt is going to, like, for me, I would need to cut for the robe a minimum of a 45.5 because my bust finished garment measurement is about a 43. I could get away with a small and size it up. Yes, I can, but it wouldn't fit at the hips. So I would have to size up the hips, right? So let's just say I would go with a medium. We're talking about 6 and 8 yards of fabric. So I did pick this pattern up, but it may be going back to the store because I'm not going to be, you know, picking up 6 and almost 6.5 yards of fabric just to sew a robe. That ain't for me. So this one is definitely going back because I don't have time to be having 6 yards of fabric for just a robe. No. I should have known that to look at the back of the pattern, but I was in a hurry, okay, to catch a flight. And I should have known this because Talisha from Creativity by T, she did a video on Vogue patterns where you needed 9 yards of 60-inch white fabric, okay? So yeah, this one is definitely going back. This will be going back Monday on my lunch break, all right? Now, let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is 8380. It is in a paper pattern. This pattern will have a sew along for it. It's not up yet. I haven't seen it yet. The sizing for this pattern is 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. It's an easy to sew pattern as well, like I just mentioned. So this pattern is the vintage 40s pattern. It's kind of like a sports dress pattern, has one shoulder design with a bow tie at the shoulder and waist. So you could either have it at the shoulder, you could have it at the waist, you could have it at both, you know, in the photo on the front of the pattern. It has a full skirt finish just below the knees for sure. You can make it shorter if you want, you know, that's why we sew. We can make whatever we want. Now let me turn it over for the different fabrics that you can use. Cotton blends, gingham, linen, shantung, any type of woven fabric basically for this pattern. All right. So once again, it's 83.80. Let's go ahead and move over to the last McCall's pattern before getting into the Nomi patterns. So this one is 83.79. Once again, it's a vintage pattern. It's a vintage 70s pattern. This pattern comes in printed form only. The sizing goes from 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. It is a wrap dress. It has short sleeves with darts. Now, this pattern does remind me of Simplicity 1159, I think is the pattern number. I'm going to put it up on the screen of the pattern that I'm thinking about. Is similar. I like to say like it's similar because you guys get so upset with me when I say it's the same pattern. So I'm going to say that it's very similar. You know, we all are entitled to each other's, you know, we are entitled to our own opinions. So this is just my opinion that it looks similar to that pattern. You don't agree with me? That's perfectly fine. All right. But it's my opinion. So this is a wrap dress that has short sleeves with darts, front tie drawn, has opening in the right side seam, and then it has a back skirt with the waistband and tie. All right, so you know, you could cross in the back and tie in the front. You could do whatever you want really with this pattern. Let's flip over to the fabric. The fabric, you basically need any type of knit fabric, cotton knits, jersey, velvet knits, just to name a few. But I really like this pattern. Now, when I say that it's similar, without looking at the line art, you will think it's the same pattern. But if you look at the line art, it is not the exact same pattern. It is kind of like you have the dress and then you have like another piece that wraps around, kind of like an apron type thing going on. All right, but it's not the same. It looks similar, but it's not the same pattern. Okay, so let's go ahead and transition over to the Nomi patterns. I only picked up like 7 to 8 of these patterns, so I'm not gonna take a lot of time with these because you guys have seen the drop, and all of these will have sew alongs for them as well. Just stay tuned to Nomi Patterns YouTube channel, and on Instagram you can always check out any of the Nomi designers. Okay, so the first one is my boy Scorpio. I picked this pattern up 2025. It's an oversized top, which I'm feeling the hoodie part of this one. All right, so it's an oversized top. It has a deep V-neck with the tie, optional hood, drop shoulders, raw edges with the top stitching for sure. It also features a wide leg pants. You guys know I love wide leg pants. Okay, now with all this junk in the trunk, I'm not going to say that I'm going to sew those pants, okay? Because I'm going to need lots of room for the pants. So I'm not here for the pants, but I am definitely here for the hoodie, okay? Now, speaking of pattern sizing, it comes in 34 to 42 and 44 to 52, okay? On those sizing. All right. Now, when it comes to like the fabric that you can use, come on, you guys. You guys can use any type of fabric, any type of woven fabric or knits, you know, cotton blends, lightweight denim, linen blends, knit fabric. It is an average to sew pattern, but if you follow along to Scorpio's pattern or Sins of Mini, you guys will be fine. All right. So let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. It is the Corny Rainbow or Neff pattern. It's a shirt dress pattern, and she also has a knit tank dress that you can do. So view A is the tank, and then B and C would be your shirt dress. So it's oversized. Now on view C, she has the sheer button front dress with the French seams. It has a high-low hem and optional contrast is shown as well. For me, I like this pattern. It's an average to sew pattern. NAF already has the sew along up. So if you're interested, go to the KnowMe Patterns YouTube channel and see that sew along that NAF already put up, or the Corny Rainbow put up on the channel. Now, when it comes to the fabric, Oh, when it comes to the fabric, you can use any type of fabric as well. You could use, well, if you're doing a knit dress, you need knit. But for view B or C, you can use chambray, cotton lawn, linen, basically any type of shirting or woven fabric for that. Now, one thing I would mention is when it comes to the sizing, 8 to 16 on that first pattern and 18 to 26 on that second pattern. All right, but that's the Corny Rainbows pattern. Let's move over to the next pattern. The next pattern is Kishi B. Now, you guys know the last 3 patterns that Kishi B came out with, they are all fire. Okay, so this is 2027. So view A is the short style romper, and then view B, you have the long floor length jumpsuit romper. I mean, not romper, but jumpsuit. So view B have the wide leg opening, both features like the long collar. It has 3 front buttons in the front for sure. It's loose fitting at the sleeves. It has a fabric covered belt if you're interested in that, side seam pockets. And then one thing that I like is the color blocking going on. So that's one reason why I picked it up, but I do love this jumpsuit and I want to make it. So I think Marcia, she did her thing on, or Kishi B, she did her thing on this jumpsuit for sure. It's an average to sew pattern. So for this jumpsuit, it does not come in PDF just yet. They're probably working their way into the Nomi patterns to make them PDF friendly. But on the pattern sizing, it comes 10 to 18 in the misses sizes, and then the women's sizes come 20W to 28W and 30W to 38W. All right. When it comes to fabric, you can use many different fabrics for sure. So some cotton blends, crepe back satin, crepe de chine, rayon, silky prints, any type of fabric of your choosing. Now, one thing that I do want to make note of is if you're doing jumpsuit B, you need probably about, I'm going to say without the contrast, you're going to need anywhere from 3.5 to 4 yards of fabric. So be mindful of what colors you are doing. Okay, let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. The next pattern is my girl Aronica, which is Needle in the Bell. So this pattern is an average to sew pattern. Needle in the Bell already have this pattern up. It's Nomi 2028. The sew along is already available for you to watch. Now, this pattern comes in 16W to 26W on the first pattern and 28W to 38W on that second pattern. So this pattern, I like view A and B. I like all the views, to be honest with you. Now, you guys know I'm not a fan of crop tops. However, view A is more of what I would do as a crop top because, the girl needs some straps, okay? So I will make these really, really strappy, bring down the crop top a little bit to kind of, cover a little bit more of my midsection for sure. But this is a lined crop top with, it has separate pattern pieces depending on your cup sizes for sure. Also, it has like a side zipper and notch details. The shorts has like an extra wide leg. It has shorts and extra wide leg trousers, and it's high-waisted for the pants and the shorts. So I like that as well. Front fly zipper. I'm cool with that. I really like the pants as well, and the shorts. So this is one that I could see myself sewing by the fall time for sure. Needle on a Bell, like I mentioned, she has the sew along up already on the channel. When it comes to fabric, you already know any type of fabric of your choosing. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. The next one is 2030 Duana. Yes. If you guys did not see when she sneak peeked this sleeveless mini dress, you guys know I needed to get that, okay? I like the curved placket detail that's on the collar, invisible side seam, zipper for sure. The bodice and the waist has pleats, so be mindful of that. Now for me, honestly, I'm not going to put on the large patch pocket. I think it would emphasize too much of my hips, so I would probably leave that off when I do it, but I love the style of it. I love the snaps on it, when she sneak peeked this one. This is an average to sew pattern when it comes to, fabric, basically any type of fabrics of your choosing. And the size range from 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 on this pattern. So I really like this pattern. I cannot wait to sew it up. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. The next pattern is a newcomer for this pattern season. It's Lindsay, and it's and she's at the Stitch Fit, right? This is an average to sew pattern. It's 2032. The pattern sizing is 18 to 16 and 18 to 26 on this pattern. Lindsay already has the sew along up on the channel if you are interested as well for that. When it comes to the pattern, when it comes to the fabrics that you can use, cotton blends, crepe, satin, silky print, you name it. Make sure you have some lining fabric as well. So this is a dress with a lined bodice. It has a low neckline and a deep V in the back. And it's to show a peekaboo halter bra look for sure. So the short dress has the two front slits, while the long dress has a high slit on one side at the princess seams as well. So I really like this. I mean, I think she came out with a really, really good pattern. So that's why I went ahead and picked it up. But once again, this is 2032 by Lindsay the Stitch Fit. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. The next pattern is 2033. It is Ella's pattern, which is from Handmade Millennial. It's an easy to sew pattern. And if you guys seen my video last week, and I'm going to go ahead and put that video in the description box below, I showed this green and black fabric, okay, in my Ankara fabric haul. And in that pattern, I think it was the video was called Bold and Beautiful Pattern Pairing for a Fashion Forward Look. In that video, I showed the fabric, and I said I was going to do the Ella pattern. I am still doing that, and I'm going to color block it and make half of it Ankara and the other half black. That's my vision for this. But this pattern is a pullover tank and cap sleeve crop top. So it's not really a crop top when it hits your waist, right? It has a square neckline, and it has like really nice pants to go with it. It has this fun curve color blocking details that I like as well. Ella already has the sew along for this pattern up on the Nomi patterns website, but YouTube channel, right? So the pants are pull-on pants, which I like. It has a front waistband with elastic at the back and side seam pockets. So it's a flat front elastic back pants as well, which I love those style of pants. So for the pattern sizing, it's 8 to 16 and 18 to 24 on the pattern. You could use whatever fabric you want in order to sew up those pants, all right? And the last pattern that I picked up, I know you guys are going to be like, yo, why you pick this pattern up? Well, first of all, Nikki is amazing. Second of all, have y'all seen that dress, that jacket dress? It's fire. Like, that's why I picked it up. So 2034, which is a jacket dress, you know, by Nikki or Beauty J'adore. It's a fully lined, double-breasted jacket dress. It has collar, lapel, welt, bust pockets. The 3 welt pockets have flaps, front and back darts on it for sure. It's basically like, it has like a couture shape and slim fitted through the sleeves as well. So I went ahead and picked it up. It's an average to sew pattern. The sew along is already up on the KnowMe YouTube channel there as well. When it comes to fabric, you guys already know the deal. Don't use cotton. Please don't use cotton for that. Even though you can use cotton for this, if you're making it lightweight, I would say go with cotton. But for me, I have this nice gabardine fabric that I think would look amazing for it. I'll also have some stretch woven that I think would look amazing for this. But, you know, if you really want it nice and tailored, you should use like a wool fabric, a tweed, linen would be great, a sateen, that would be great as well. You know, use something that, you know, will keep its structure. Cotton fabric doesn't keep the structure, not for a jacket of this, you know, this style or this type, I should say. All right. Well, that's all the patterns that I picked up over the weekend during the McCall's and Nomi $1.99 sale. I hope you enjoyed this video, and since you made it this far, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So I'll catch you in the next video, and as always, keep sewing.